I was opening my small restaurant kitchen early one quiet morning when the strange day began. The ovens were cold and the windows were covered with gentle fog from the night rain. I planned to bake bread and prepare soup for the regular customers who trusted my cooking. My life was simple, and I liked it that way without any surprises or wild adventures. While searching for a clean pan under the old wooden table, I heard a tiny scratching sound. At first, I thought a mouse had found its way inside the warm, comfortable kitchen. I grabbed a broom and moved toward the cabinet, ready to chase the little pest away. The scratching came again, but it was softer and almost like a gentle tapping. When I opened the cabinet door, something unexpected looked back at me with bright eyes. A small round creature no bigger than a teapot was sitting on my best silver tray. It had shiny blue scales and two tiny wings folded neatly on its back. A thin trail of smoke drifted from its nose as it stared at me without fear. I dropped the broom and nearly fell over because I understood the truth at once. There was a baby dragon sitting in my kitchen among the pots and plates. For many years I had heard stories from sailors and travelers about such beasts. Never in my calm, ordinary life did I imagine meeting one face to face. The little dragon tilted its head and made a soft chirping sound like a hungry bird. I noticed it was shivering and looked thin as if it had not eaten in days. My heart felt strangely warm toward the tiny visitor instead of frightened. I slowly reached for a bowl and filled it with fresh milk from the cooler. The creature sniffed the air and crawled closer with eager, hopeful eyes. It drank the milk in quick, happy gulps and tapped the bowl with its claws. At that moment, I decided I could not send it away into the cold streets. The city outside was loud and dangerous for a small, helpless dragon. I gave it a piece of leftover chicken and watched it eat with delight. The baby flapped its wings and hopped onto my shoulder as if thanking me. From that morning, my quiet life changed in ways I never could have imagined. I named the little dragon Ember because of the warm glow in its throat. Every day, Ember followed me around the kitchen while I cooked and cleaned. Customers soon noticed the unusual helper sitting near the bread baskets. Some were afraid at first, but Ember behaved so politely that fear faded. Children laughed and pointed while parents shook their heads in wonder. Word spread quickly through the town about the chef with a friendly dragon. More people came to eat at my restaurant just to see the magical sight. Business became better than ever, and I needed to hire extra workers. Ember learned to light the ovens with tiny bursts of careful flame. The bread baked faster, and the soup stayed warm without any effort. Health inspectors visited and left amazed by the clever arrangement. Life felt like a happy dream filled with good food and cheerful music. One evening, a tall stranger arrived wearing a long coat covered with dust. He said he had traveled far after hearing rumors of a dragon in the city. His eyes were sharp and serious, and he carried an old leather book. The man warned me that dragons were not simple pets for common people. He claimed Ember might grow large and dangerous if not trained correctly. I listened politely, but I trusted the gentle creature more than the stranger. Ember curled around my neck and purred like a contented cat. The stranger left money on the table and disappeared into the night. Weeks turned into months, and the baby dragon slowly grew bigger. Its wings became stronger, and its scales shone like polished jewels. Yet Ember remained kind and playful, never harming a single soul. Together we invented new recipes that amazed even the finest chefs. Dragon-toasted pies and smoky-flavored stews became famous everywhere. Travelers crossed oceans just to taste a meal from my small kitchen. Reporters wrote stories calling me the luckiest cook in the world. Despite all the attention, I still woke early to knead dough with my own hands. Ember slept beside the warm stove, guarding the restaurant like a loyal friend. Sometimes at night, I wondered where the dragon had come from. No one arrived to claim it, and no other dragons were ever seen. I imagined secret mountains and hidden caves filled with ancient magic. Perhaps Ember had chosen me for reasons beyond human understanding. One stormy winter day, trouble finally knocked on my door. Soldiers from the royal capital arrived with stern faces and shining armor. They declared that dragons belonged to the crown by ancient law. The captain demanded that I hand over Ember for study and safekeeping. My heart sank as I listened to their cold official orders. Ember sensed the danger and hid behind my legs with worried eyes. I refused politely and explained that the dragon was part of my family. The soldiers grew angry and threatened to take Ember by force. Customers gathered around and defended us with loud voices. News of the conflict spread, and soon the whole town stood on my side. The mayor spoke on our behalf, declaring that Ember had brought prosperity. Faced with such unity, the soldiers hesitated and requested new instructions. Days passed while letters flew back and forth to the distant capital. During that tense time, I feared losing the friend who had changed my life. Finally, a message arrived from the king himself, written in bold ink. He invited me and Ember to visit the palace as honored guests. The journey was long and filled with nervous excitement. At the grand palace, Ember impressed everyone with gentle manners. The king tasted my cooking and laughed with genuine delight. After seeing the bond between chef and dragon, he made a wise decision. A special law was created allowing Ember to remain free and happy. The king even granted my restaurant a royal seal of approval. We returned home as heroes welcomed by cheering crowds. Years continued to pass in peace and joyful hard work. Ember grew into a magnificent dragon but kept a kind, loving heart. Children who once visited became adults, bringing their own families. The little kitchen where it all began turned into a famous gathering place. I often thought back to that quiet morning long ago. Finding a baby dragon among the pots had seemed impossible. Yet the miracle had taught me that life can change in a single moment. Kindness and courage had brought wonders beyond any recipe. And every time Ember helped me light the ovens with a friendly flame, I remember that even the smallest discovery can reshape the world. My simple dream of cooking good food had grown into something magical. All because one curious chef found a baby dragon in his kitchen. And everything changed forever in the most beautiful way possible.